Right now on News Channel 6 at 5, Allendale school leaders working together to make sure students are successful. Coming up, a look at the plan that's getting students ready for their future. Plus, a local man celebrating his second chance at life. He describes what he calls his Christmas miracle. Up next. And researchers are working on a way to save lives, how funding for type 1 diabetes is bringing them one step closer to a cure. As your News at 5 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Hey guys, good evening. Happy Christmas Eve to you. Brad and Jenny have the night off. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. Coverage you can count on begins with new details in last night's deadly accident in Columbia County. It happened around midnight on I-20 near exit 194. Deputies say the driver lost control of the car. He hit the end of the guardrail. The coroner pronounced the passenger, Michael Lyles, dead on the scene. Investigators will send his body to the GBI crime lab for an autopsy. 2 other people in that car survived. The Richmond County Coroner's Office is investigating a deadly shooting. They tell us it happened last night on the 3600 block of Gibraltar Drive. Medics rushed the victim, 28-year-old Ronald Brown, to the Augusta University Medical Center. He was pronounced dead there around 6 o'clock. Brown's body went to the GBI lab today for an autopsy. The sheriff's office has not released information about a suspect. Count on News Channel 6 to keep you updated on this developing story. Now over to Allendale, South Carolina, where a 3-year-old was shot in a drive-by shooting. Allendale police say it happened yesterday evening around 5 o'clock at a home located at 1800 block of Razor Road. Law enforcement got to the scene. They learned that multiple shots were fired. They say one of those hit the toddler inside the home. The child, thank goodness, still alive, recovering in the hospital. State law enforcement investigating this sad situation. Allendale County students working now on winter break after reaching some major milestones in education. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock has a look at how a 3-year plan is helping students get ready for college and their careers.
Today is the first full day that district officials and staff are out for the Christmas holiday here in Allendale County. It's also the end of the first semester that Dr. Gilmore put together a plan meant to prepare students for college and career.
And guys, this next story is awesome. This Christmas, a local man grateful for what he calls a second chance at life. This time last year, we told you about him as he prayed to get a new kidney. Here we are 1 year later. He shared his story with News Channel 6's Ashley Flette.
That's right. There's approximately 100,000.
While many of us are pretending calories don't count and eating whatever holiday treat we want, I know I'm one of those. Thousands of children, though, and their parents are closely watching what they eat because of type 1 diabetes. Researchers at the Medical College of Georgia, they're fighting to learn more about the condition that currently has no cure. They just got more than $3 million to continue their life-changing work. At the time of this video, Benjamin Smith didn't have type 1 diabetes, but was at high risk for developing it. A few months after this game of Yahtzee, Benjamin was diagnosed with type 1. His mom, Jennifer, says they were ready thanks to their participation in the Teddy study.
So I feel like we're very armed with knowledge and understanding to keep him healthy. We have a ton of support.
The diagnosis means Benjamin's graduated from the program. However, Dr. Jinjong Shi and his team just received a 4th grant renewal to keep digging deeper into the disease.
If they are not careful, it can be a life-threatening disease. The main goal of Teddy is to identify the environmental exposures.
In other words, they're trying to determine what causes some children to get type 1 while others never do.
Teddy was very successful in screening almost 500,000 newborn babies. And then we were able to enroll almost 9,000 high-risk babies into a 15-year study. Everyone involved was a little crazy in thinking that it can be done.
Jennifer says research manager Diane Hopkins probably knows just as much about her son as she does.
We met them all at 12 hours old. So to go from 12 hours old to turning 15, and they, they're texting and saying, I got my driver's license. It's amazing.
Hopkins says she loves being a part of a study that's scientifically strong and making a difference. But the biggest reward is what's not on a lab chart.
Hey, I made All-Stars and look at my project and here's my report card, and we have become a part of their lives. They've partnered with us as research partners for the entire time that they've been on this planet. We're like family.
A family that knows the intricate details of these kids' lives as they try to pinpoint what causes type 1 diabetes, so eventually they can find a cure.
We talk about the psychological stressors because we know that stressors can affect the immune system, just like toxins in the water or vaccine schedules or nutrition or anything else like that, activity levels. We look at everything we can possibly look at to get every possible cause.
Dr. Shi says this funding cycle is the most important after 15 years of work, because now is the time they put the remaining puzzle pieces together.
This is just the beginning. The most important work is still ahead of us.
Still to come, there's nothing like celebrating surrounded by the people who mean the most to you. A tear-jerking homecoming story is coming up after a short break. Grab the tissues and stay with us. Guys, when soldiers are deployed, they leave behind family, friends, and often pets. An organization called Dogs on Deployment helps them connect with families who are willing to host their animals while the soldiers are away. We talked to a local foster about her experience.
Say good morning, Dad.
This is Sultan, or Sully for short.
We love you and we're praying for you.
He is part of our family now.
Sarah Bird is fostering Sully while his owner, who's currently stationed at Fort Gordon, is away.
He just didn't have the funds to do a boarding for the extended time that he had been given.
The two connected using the site Dogs on Deployment.
We love on him, we feed him, and we see that he gets to vet visits.
Bird says it's her way to give back to someone willing to sacrifice so much,
so that they can continue protecting and taking care of us.
That sweet little face. Many people give pets as a present for Christmas, and there are plenty of furry friends up for adoption at the Aiken County Animal Shelter. Lots of people see cute faces like Sully's you just saw, and they want to add a new family member to their family during the holidays. And if that's on your Christmas list, the adoption coordinator says there are some things you need to think about before you make such a big decision.
Oh, consider the lifestyle that you have before you just get an animal. What's going to fit with you? Well, how much time do you have? What are your resources? What can you afford? What do you have? Do you have a fenced-in yard? Do you like to walk? Are you active? Do you want somebody to go with you? Do you want somebody to stay on the couch with you? Just always consider what's going to fit with you and then pick the animal.
Lots of things to consider, and this is sad, but unfortunately you should consider this as well. She says if you're getting a pet for an elderly person, consider aftercare in the case that that person has health issues. The holidays are all about reconnecting with family, friends, those people that we love the most. And for U.S. service members, trips back home are especially precious. This year, some have caught the reunions on camera, and they often go viral. Polo Sandoval has a look.
A visit to Santa Claus.
So, what would you like for Christmas?
For my dad to come home.
Oh.
Turned into a special delivery for these two Minnesota sisters.
Daddy.
Oh man, told you guys to grab the tissues and didn't take my own advice. My goodness, George. Still to come, 'tis the season of tasty snacks, holiday dinners, and delicious drinks. Coming up, we'll give you some little things you can do to keep your figure during all the holiday fun right after the break. I love that as we wait for Santa.
Yes,
he's going to have some very clear skies to
smooth
fly in.
sailing, yep.
Yes, and the roads are very clear as well as I was driving in here today.
We're in good shape here at home, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks, George, so much. All right, now being healthy during the holidays can be downright impossible. With all the celebrating parties, dinners, and yummy holiday treats, it can cause your waistline to inch outward little by little. I know mine has a little already, but that doesn't always have to be the case. Here are some things that you can do to keep the extra pounds to a minimum as we head into the new year. The average person packs on 1 to 2 pounds during the holiday season, and research shows those couple of pounds are a major contributor to yearly weight gain. For people looking to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions, there are a few tricks to keep the numbers on the scale from sliding higher. First, never show up to a party hungry. Eat breakfast in the morning to control your appetite. Eat a healthy snack before heading out so you don't get somewhere starving. Limit alcohol intake. Cocktails are high in calories, especially sugary holiday drinks. They also increase appetite and decrease inhibition, making you more likely to beeline for the snack table. Skip anything high in sugar and alternate what you do drink with a glass of water. Use a smaller plate. Large plates are associated with weighing more because larger portions increase caloric intake. Studies also show that people who survey a buffet before loading up on food tend to weigh less. This is probably because they took time to decide what they wanted in advance rather than grabbing everything that looked good. And beware of bite-sized treats. They can add up quickly to hundreds of extra calories. Get rid of leftovers. If you're the one throwing the party, add Tupperware to your shopping list. Sending guests home with leftovers will keep you from binging on them. For today's Health Minute, I'm Ashley Osborne, WJBF News Channel 6. All of us here at News Channel 6 want to congratulate the winner of the WJBF Christmas Dinner giveaway, Mamie Ross, the winner of $250 worth of gift certificates to Lifesaver. Yum! I'm jealous of you, Mamie. Congratulations to you and your family. A 7-year-old boy is spreading holiday cheer by giving back to his community. The lesson we can all learn from him and how he's making a difference this Christmas, coming up next. We all have something to learn from this one. A young boy in Henry County, Georgia, giving back to his families, this Christmas. He's just 7 years old and he's been collecting toys and food since he was just 4. Ricky Klaus has the story.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
He's not Santa, but Triandos Thornton has lots of toys to give away.
Because it's nice to help people.
When he was 4,
I was watching TV and on a commercial, it was kids crying, and I asked my mom, why are they crying? And my mom said, because they don't have no food or toys.
When we explained it to him, he seemed to have gotten it, but he said, what can I do to help?
Shayna Thornton helped her son organize a holiday drive.
It's the holidays, and you're supposed to give back.
Friday, the first grader sorted toys with his teachers. Sunday, we visited a Stockbridge drop-off site. Rising Phoenix Enrichment Program. Ashley Gay Johnson's the executive director.
People are hurting nowadays, and it takes a community to step in and say, hey, I may not know you, but I am here for you.
Shayna says the nonprofit United Food Force will distribute the gifts to local families.
And they're helping right now a family that lost their home in a fire, a family of 10. So they're assisting with that, and we hope and look forward to our donations helping that family and other families out as well.
We asked the gifted student what he wants to be when he grows up.
A heart doctor known as a cardiologist because if people are sick, I can help them.
No surprise, this kid's got a big heart.
It's the holidays and you're supposed to give back. We're working on several news stories for News Channel 6 at 5:30, including the latest information about the investigation to find a missing mother in Colorado, how new evidence turned up in Idaho, 700 miles away from her home. Coming up on News Channel 6 at 5:30.
At midnight.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30.
The partial government shutdown continues into Christmas with no resolution. Meanwhile, more than 8,000 federal workers are affected by the shutdown in one way or another. Good evening and Merry Christmas Eve. I'm Ashley Osborne. John and Dee, they've got the night off. Thanks so much for sticking around with us for WJBF News Channel 6 at 5:30. Your local headlines at the bottom of the hour. School is out for Allendale County staff and students. They're on winter break, but work for the new year continues. District school leaders are putting a new plan into place to get students ready for college and their future jobs. More info on how the initiative is already helping children in the area coming up on News Channel 6 at 6. Also, a local man celebrating his Christmas miracle thanks to a special donor. A family friend took her daughter off life support in order to give John Tucker a second chance at life with a kidney. She believes her daughter's going to live on through John. And there's no cure for type 1 diabetes, but researchers at the Medical College of Georgia, they're able to continue their fight to find one. MCG just got their 4th grant renewal of more than $3 million. Also, the devastation in Indonesia continues. Leaders there say more deadly tsunamis could hit the Indonesian coastline this week. At least 373 people died after tidal waves hit the country Saturday night. Hundreds more are hurt. 24 still missing. Experts say an erupting volcano triggered the deadly waves. In Indonesia, no stranger to natural disasters, In the last 6 months, there have been 3 devastating earthquakes and tsunamis. Now over to the nation's capital, where the partial government shutdown closure heading into day 4. Christmas Eve, no end in sight. The president continues his attacks on Democrats over the funding for his border wall, and Dems, they fight back. ABC's Kenneth Motton has more.
The nation is feeling and seeing the impacts of the holiday shutdown. Lawmakers at home.
A former candidate in the Georgia governor's race indicted for insurance fraud. The indictment accuses Republican State Senator Michael Williams of making a false report. Authorities say Williams claimed that $300,000 worth of computer servers were stolen from his campaign office. The lawmaker is known for his controversial campaign called the deportation bus. Hall County leaders say Williams is making arrangements to turn himself in. He's also charged with falsely reporting a crime and making false statements. Over in Decatur, Georgia, a police officer and a woman are in stable condition after someone shot them yesterday morning. The DeKalb County Police Chief says officers responded to a domestic violence call when this happened. While searching the home, police found a wounded woman. Authorities say an officer accidentally fired a shotgun. The round hit the ground and ricocheted into an officer. Now over to new information in the case of a missing Colorado mother. Just days after the arrest of Kelsey Barris' fiance on a murder charge, investigators found evidence 700 miles away from her home. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the details.
The search for clues into the disappearance and suspected murder of Kelsey Barris.
A 13-year-old boy in Kansas saved his sisters after seeing his family's house on fire. Nicholas Elliott saw smoke circling his house and flames rising in the gutter. That's when he grabbed his two younger sisters and ran. Firefighters got to the scene 5 minutes later. They say the Christmas lights were the cause of the fire. Officials put out the flames and saved the family's Christmas presents.
According to the fire marshal, the Christmas lights that plug in right here in the exterior outlet, they come across the gutter and they had arced onto the gutter, and that's what started the flame.
The fire damaged several rooms near the front of the house, including the garage. Elliott's parents say they're going to still put up Christmas decorations for the holidays, but they're no longer going to put up lights. Eating out on Christmas Day can be hard since most businesses close their doors for the holiday. If you didn't get your shopping done or just don't feel like cooking, there's still some options out there for you. Waffle House, the most reliable option. All of their locations open 24/7. The breakfast chain is known for staying open even through natural disasters like hurricanes. IHOP, also a safe bet. Most of their spots going to stay open regular hours on Christmas Day. Macaroni Grill also could be open. Hey George, beautiful today, and I know this weather is going to continue. What you got for us throughout the week?
It's looking real good tonight, and Christmas Day also very, very beautiful. Then by the end of the week, some rain begins to roll back in again. Chevy Loop Skyview Network and Strom Thermal Lake as we wrap up this Christmas Eve day and head into the evening.
Well, after 3 years of being musically incognito, my girl Rihanna, she's back. The Grammy-nominated singer says she's releasing a new album next year, 2019. The singer shared the news on her Instagram. Her vocal producer also teased the upcoming album R9 as, quote, amazing, incredible. If you're a Riri fan, you may have to wait just a little bit longer to hear her new songs, though, because she has not yet announced when she's going to release that new album. Santa Claus is going to get a run for his money this year, and money is the operative word there. The goodies in his sleigh may not be quite as impressive as the goods up for grabs in the Mega Millions lottery. The jackpot for Christmas night's drawing stands at $321 million. That is a lot of money. It comes to a cash option of $193.7 million. The next drawing is December 25th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Goodness gracious, I would love to win that money. And last year when the jackpot was up that high, we went around town seeing, if you won, what are some of the most expensive, luxurious things here in town that you could buy. We went to Beamer. They showed us this awesome car, also Windsor Jewelers. It was a massive diamond ring. Don't tell my husband. I tried it on. And guys, we want to know what's trending in your lives as well this Christmas. You can send me your pictures on Instagram. That's where I'm most active at Today with Ashley Ray. You can see my Christmas little reindeer, our dog, there. So just send me your pictures on Instagram. And guys, an elaborate Christmas display, a reindeer burglar, and a mall flash mob. Reed Binion has all of it. Take a look at this.
Take a look at this crazy Christmas display.
George, beautiful outside, clear in the sky, clear on the roads as well. Great day.
It's just a perfect Christmas forecast coming our direction. Take a look at our
most important takeaway, George. Great weather for Santa Claus tonight. And guys, important to keep in mind over the holidays, the CDC says the opioid epidemic has only gotten worse. That's according to a new report published Friday. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control said between 2016 and 2017, there was a 45.2% increase in deaths from synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The report also says between 2013 and 2017, the percentage of drug overdoses increased in 45 states. Arizona, North Carolina, and Oregon had the highest increase. Still to come, a woman in North Carolina is defining Christmas. How she received the nickname Christmas Tree Lady, up next. A woman in North Carolina is going all out this Christmas. Mallory Lane has a look at how the Christmas Tree Lady is using her passion for the holiday to make a difference. Oh my goodness, so many trees. Much more coverage you can count on coming up in just a few minutes on News Channel 6 at 6, including a closer look at how Allendale County schools are improving after a state takeover. That story and more coming up. Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, Allendale school leaders have created a 3-year strategic plan for the district. A closer look at how this plan has been implemented. Plus, a local man receives a miracle after wishing for a new kidney last Christmas. We'll have his story coming up. And researchers at the Medical College of Georgia have funding now, their 4th round for type 1 diabetes. Your News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Hey guys, good evening. Happy Christmas Eve to all of you. I'm Ashley Osborne. Brad and Jenny, they've got the night off. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. Coverage you can count on begins in Allendale, South Carolina, where students and staff are now on winter break after reaching some major milestones in education. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbagestock has more.
Today is
an investigation happening now in Allendale, South Carolina, where a 3-year-old was shot in a drive-by shooting. The Allendale Police Department says it happened yesterday around 5 p.m. at a home at the 1800 block of Razor Road. When officers got there, they learned multiple shots had been fired at the home. One of those shots hit a 3-year-old that was inside. The child had already been taken to the hospital when deputies got to the scene. State law enforcement is investigating. One person is dead after a crash last night in Columbia County. It happened around midnight on I-20 near exit 194. Deputies tell us that the driver lost control of the car, hit the end of the guardrail. The coroner says a passenger in the car, Michael Lyles, he was pronounced dead on the scene. His body will be sent to the GBI crime lab for an autopsy. 2 other people in the car, they did survive. Now, with temperatures cooler in the mornings, you might be tempted to warm up your car before you get in it. But police say that's not only dangerous, but it's against the law in South Carolina as well. It's illegal in South Carolina to leave a car running unattended with the key in the ignition. Police say they see more cars stolen this time of year for that reason. But if you've got one of those newer cars that can be started without a key, the law doesn't apply to those of you with those fancy rides. A local man has a new way of life this Christmas Eve. Last year, we told you about him, John Tucker. He prayed for a Christmas miracle. Here we are 1 year later. John is thankful for a second chance of life with a new kidney. In March of this year, John received a life-changing phone call. 2 days later, showed up to Emory Hospital ready to get his new kidney. He says this body part has a deeper meaning for him.
It was really a mixed bag of emotions. I was really elated when I got my kidney. And then at the same time, I was very sad because my good friend had lost her daughter.
Tiffany was a friend of John's. Her family decided to take her off of life support so that she could give her kidney to John. She was just 22 years old. The doctors told John her kidney was a perfect match. John says Tiffany will always live on through him. More than 1 million Americans battle type 1 diabetes, and roughly 200,000 of those are children, according to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Right now, there is no cure for the autoimmune disease, but researchers at the Medical College of Georgia just got their 4th grant renewal of more than $3 million to continue their fight to find a cure. The goal of the TEDdy study is to determine what causes some children to get type 1 while others never do.
TEDdy was very successful in screening almost 500,000 newborn babies. And then we were able to enroll almost 9,000 high-risk babies into a 15-year study.
Dr. Shi says this final grant cycle is the most important because it's when they put the final puzzle pieces together. And those who serve in our military, they sacrifice so much, especially around the holiday season. When they're deployed, they leave behind family, friends, and often pets. An organization called Dogs on Deployment helps soldiers find a temporary home for their furry friends. We talked to a local woman who's fostering a dog right now for the 2nd time while his owner's away serving.
Say good morning, Dad. Say hi. Say hope you have a good day at work. Say be safe. We love you and we're praying for you.
This is Sultan, or Sully for short.
As you can see, I'm ready for my first nap of the day.
He is part of our family now.
Sarah Bird is fostering Sully while his owner, who's currently stationed at Fort Gordon, is away.
He just didn't have the funds to do a boarding for the extent, it's really an extended extreme time that he had been given. And so I thought, I don't want him to give up his family member. I couldn't stand that,
The two connected using the site Dogs on Deployment.
The owner's been wonderful to work with. They provide the finances. It's just a really neat blessing. We love on him, we feed him, and we see that he gets to vet visits if he needs anything.
Bird explains as a host, you call the shots on what kind of animal you're willing to take and for how long.
It's not just dogs. They also do cats. They do, exotics. They do small animals. They've got everything set up correctly legally, so everybody's protected because you are taking some risks, and you want to make sure it's done right.
And it's more than just the animal that's taken care of. The soldier gets peace of mind.
If he is out of contact for 2 months, 3 months, whatever, that he knows Sully's taken care of.
Right, Sully?
Bird says it's her way to give back to someone willing to sacrifice so much.
God knew what he was doing. I was not called to that. But for those that are, this is something that we can offer in some small measure. We can't give anything in comparison to what they are giving. But this is just a little piece that I feel like I can do so that they can continue protecting and taking care of us.
And she says little piece, but Sully there weighs 85 pounds, so quite a big baby there. The site Dogs on Deployment has two profile types. If you're a soldier in need of a temporary home for your pet, you can match with someone who is willing to host them. If you're not able to foster an animal, though, you can still donate to help the organization. What a great Christmas present.
Extra present under the tree.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they'll know what it is even if you wrap it.
That's true. It's hard to hide the fact it's an umbrella.
Absolutely. Well, another congratulations is in order. We would like to congratulate the winner of WJBF's Christmas dinner giveaway, Mamie Ross. Girl, I'm very jealous of you and your family. You won $250 worth of gift certificates to Wife Savers. Yum. Congratulations to you and your family. Well, it's that time of year. People have their homes decorated to perfection for the holidays. One local couple goes all out. You guys are not going to want to miss everything they've got in their home. This story coming up. Well, you guys are in for a treat. Many of us this time of year go all out for our Christmas decorations, and one Columbia County couple takes extra pride in building their Christmas village. News Channel 6 photographer Anthony Sherrod shares their story. The attention to detail, clear that they're ready for Christmas. Wow. And as Clemson gets ready in Dallas for Saturday's Cotton Bowl against Notre Dame, the Tigers are dealing with news that they do not want. Starting defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence, tight end Braden Galloway, and backup offensive lineman Zach Giella suspended after each failed NCAA drug test last week. The test found what head coach Dabo Swinney refers to as a sliver of a banned substance known as Osterin. All three are appealing with a hope to play on Saturday. We'll be right back after a short break. Thanks so much, George. Beautiful day today.
Yep.
Unfortunate rain coming, but
good tonight too.
Yes, not going to be back tomorrow, but you guys can watch us here on the 26th of December. Thanks so much for staying with us. Also tonight, after 1 year of wishing for a new kidney, a local man gets his Christmas miracle.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Hey guys, good evening. Happy Christmas Eve to you. Thanks for watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Ashley Osborne. John and Dee have the night off. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight. The Richmond County Coroner's Office looking into a deadly shooting. They say it happened last night on Gibraltar Drive. Medics rushed the victim, 28-year-old Ronald Brown, to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Sheriff's Office has not released information about a suspect at this time. Count on News Channel 6 to keep you updated on this story. Also, a 3-year-old shot and wounded, and authorities in Allendale, South Carolina, investigating the drive-by shooting. The Allendale Police Department says it happened yesterday at a home on Razor Road. Officers learned someone fired multiple shots at the home. One hit a 3-year-old inside. The child had already been taken to a hospital when deputies got there. State law enforcement investigating the child is alive. Allendale County students are now on winter break after reaching some major milestones in education. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Stock explains. Well, as temperatures get colder in the mornings, you might be tempted to warm up your car before you get in it. But police in South Carolina say that's not only dangerous, It's against the law. It is illegal in South Carolina to leave your car running unattended with the key in the ignition. Police say they see more cars being stolen this time of year for that reason. We're told the law does not apply if you have a newer car that can be started without a key.
Well, see, most of those are equipped to where the car won't even unlock, like the car will still be locked. And if someone even did jump in the car to try to take it, once they hit the brake and without the key in the ignition, it's going to cut off anyway.
Here's why you shouldn't do it. Investigators say many stolen cars never recovered and are sometimes used to commit crimes or sold out of state. And when soldiers are deployed, they leave behind family, friends, and often pets. An organization called Dogs on Deployment helps them connect with families who are willing to host their animal while the soldiers are away. We talked to a local foster about her experience. That's awesome. And more than 1 million Americans battle type 1 diabetes, and roughly 200,000 of those are children, according to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Right now, there is no cure for the autoimmune disease, but researchers at the Medical College of Georgia just received their 4th grant renewal of more than $3 million to continue their fight to find a cure. The goal of the TEDdy study is to determine what causes some children to get type 1 diabetes while others never do.
TEDdy was very successful in screening almost 500,000 newborn babies. And then we were able to enroll almost 9,000 high-risk babies into a 15-year study.
Dr. Shi says this final grant cycle is the most important because it's when they put the remaining puzzle pieces together. And tonight, a local man is thankful for what he calls a Christmas miracle. We told you about him last year as he prayed for a kidney. This year, he shares his update with News Channel 6's Ashley Flette.
It brought me back to my...
Wow, what a heartwarming story. That's so great. Experts say 22 people die a day due to the lack of organs available. You can make the decision to become an organ donor and visit www.donatelife.Georgia. Well, some of you spent the day racing against time as Christmas morning is just hours away. Today was the last day to get gifts for your loved ones before Christmas. People we spoke with say they always enjoy getting gifts, but giving them to someone you care about, that feeling, well, that's just out of the park.
That's my Christmas present, just to see, them happy and excited, for what, they've gotten for Christmas. That's to me, if I don't get anything, that right there is my enjoyment.
USA Today says some of the best last-minute gifts are hair dryers and portable batteries.
Clear skies right now this Christmas.
Well, many spare no expense with Christmas decorations, and one Columbia County couple takes extra pride in theirs. News Channel 6's photojournalist Anthony Sherrod gives you a look. A look at Santa's weather for his trek tonight and your forecast for the week after the break.
Monday, sunshine and 65 degrees. So looking good for tonight and tomorrow, Ashley. Then it kind of gets damp, cloudy as we head towards the weekend. Yeah.
But 65 is beautiful for Christmas Day. I'll take it. I'll take it for a beautiful holiday.
Many folks would enjoy that very much.
Absolutely. Well, coming up next on News Channel 6 at 7 with 5 Grammy wins, a Pulitzer Prize, and the acclaimed Black Panther soundtrack. When it comes to music, 2018 was Kendrick Lamar's year. Well, 2018 was a big year for music, and rapper Kendrick Lamar, he crushed it. Rick DeMaglia has a look and listen at some of the music's best for the year. After the break, when you'll need to grab your umbrella this holiday week, stay with us. That's our report for now. George, thanks so much. Be sure to join us at 10 p.m. for News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV, or you can follow us on all of our social media channels.